And yeah, I'm so excited to dive into the world of AI. How does everyone feel about AI at the moment? Are there people that love it? Put your hand up if you love it. Anyone who's a little bit dubious? Okay, good. We've got a good mix, And then also, I just want to get a sense check as well. So how many people own a business at the moment? Love it. Who doesn't own a business but is looking to own a business? Love it. And does anyone not own a business, have no desire to own a business, and is here for the sandwiches? You. You're like, oh. All good. So I'll do the quick stuff about me. My name is Meyers. I built a $2.2 million business in social marketing 10 years ago. I'm a speaker and a podcaster. I own Momentum AI and Automations Agency. We go into businesses. We completely audit their businesses, see where they've got AI and automation opportunities, and then a lot of the time we build custom AI solutions for them. And then I also own my own AI and automation software called Made for More AI. And this is where I really built it for people who hate tech. They want to do their thing. They've started their business because they're passionate about something, but they really don't want to get stuck with the tech. And that's really why I kind of created this software for them. And all of these testimonials are from people who are exactly like that. They hate tech, but they just want to get on with the stuff that they're passionate about. So I want to play a game really quickly. I've got two scenarios. I want you to choose which scenario you would go for. Scenario 1. I will give you £1 million today. I'll literally hand it to you as you leave the door, but you'll die tomorrow. It's very morbid, but it gets better. Or scenario 2, you already have £1 million in the bank. You're super successful. You've got that sit in the bank right now, but you have to give all of that money in order to save your life. Are you going to choose scenario 1 or 2? Who's choosing scenario 2? Okay. Would anyone choose scenario 1? Are there any weirdos that would take it? What is going on at this table? You're here for the cash and the sandwiches. So most people would choose scenario 2, right? We would give up all of our money in order to have more time on this earth. So what that shows me is that time is our most valuable asset. And yet, most people are not living their life and building their business that prioritizes their time. So this is what I really want to help you with today. I really want to help you just get a grip on prioritizing your time and building your business in this way. Because 3 years ago, this really hit me like a ton of bricks. So I was the CEO of a company called Girls Building Empires. We had 2.3 million followers, and I was living the dream in Barbados. So I got my family, went off to Barbados, this really expensive holiday. And if anyone looked at me on the outside, you'd say that I was living the dream. But the reality was, I was so stressed. I was terrified of closing my laptop because I thought the whole business was going to crumble without me. Has anyone ever gone on holiday and like your body is on holiday, but your mind is very much still back in the office? We had a team of 10. I was arguing with my partner every day. He was like, "You're not present. You're just your brain's all over the place." My mum guilt was through the roof, and I actually physically got sick. So my body started shutting down, I got rashes all over me, and I was just stuck in bed for 10 days where my body said, we're not going to do it anymore. And so that was such a big wake-up call for me for like, what am I doing? Why am I building this business if I can't even go away on holiday for 10 days? So it really kind of made me change things a lot. And the reason was because I didn't have a system. I was dead Barbie, literally every Friday. I was dead Barbie, and it's because I didn't have this system. Now, a system might sound really boring. Does anyone like systems? Who are our green personalities that like systems? I like systems now. Is anyone here that's like, nah, systems, I'm just go with the flow kind of girl. Don't rein me in. I feel you. So a system is a step-by-step process that will save yourself time, energy, and money. People don't really think this, but a system is the key to freedom. I know that it feels like it's restriction, but it's actually the thing that sets you free. And I'm going to show you my system in a second, but we implemented this for one of my clients. He said, this is everything that I wanted in my mind for the last 4 years, finally being put into place. So I have one objective here today. I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm not here to push AI on the people that don't really like AI, but I do just want you to start to get excited and feel confident with stepping into this world. Because this world is not going anywhere. AI is not going anywhere. This is not a trend. It's not a fad. AI is here to stay, and it's only getting bigger. So I want to empower you today to have the confidence to really take this opportunity for what it is. So Whenever we have any kind of technology, these big waves of things that come, we basically have two things that happen. You've got the early innovators. These are the people that jump on it straight away, and they're, anything new that comes out, they're on it straight away. Then you get the early adopters. It's 13.5% of people. You then get the early majority. So this little curve here, this is people's adoption to technology. Then you get the late majority of people. And then what happens is there's this real crossroads where how advanced technology is going up at such a rapid rate that the laggards, the people that don't get on board and the people that don't jump on this opportunity, the gap between the two starts to become too big. And this is where we are right now. So we are at that crossroads right now where technology is advancing so quick. If we don't get on board with it and start to learn how to actually use it in its basic form, then the gap between how advanced technology is and where your ability to understand it is becomes too big. And then you start to get to a point where you think, I don't even know how to play this game anymore. I feel like we're too far away. Your face just went like that. I hope I haven't just scared you. You were like, ugh. So what I want to teach you today is my 3-step process to really just start to get into this world. The first one is simplify your tech. The second one is automate your systems. And the third one is amplify with AI. So let's dive into simplify your tech, first of all. Has anyone been online and you've seen adverts for stuff popping up all the time? Has anyone seen an advert for an AI tool? There is so many, isn't there? You click on one and then another one pops up. And the danger is that all of these tools look great, and so you can start to think, oh, if I get this one, it's going to save me some time, and then I'm going to add on this one, and then I'm going to add on this one, and before you know it, you're spending hundreds of pounds in subscription costs. Has anyone's subscriptions got a little bit out of hand? They're a little bit wild, isn't it? I had actually had a look at mine, and it was like £750 I was spending per month on subscription. So the first exercise that I want you to do, you don't have to do this now because it might take a little moment, but I want to dispel the myth that you need separate tools for everything. You actually don't need tools all over the place, because if you've got one tool here that does this, one tool here that does this, one tool here that does this, you need to get them all to speak to each other, which is a headache in its own right. So ideally what we want to do is simplify your tech and see how much efficiency you can get out of a handful of tools. So your action step today is to cut the subscriptions. So go through your online banking, go through and write down all of the subscriptions, and I mean absolutely everything. So this could be that tiny little subscription that you pay for here. There's like $5.99 or a $1.99 here or a $7.99 here. I actually have a subscription to like every TV channel. And then when I have kids, I've got like Disney, Prime, Now TV. I've got them all. I definitely don't need them all. But go through and write down all of your subscriptions and see where there's an overlap. See if this tool does similar to this one, but in a slightly different way, and see where you can start to cut some of these subscriptions. Because as soon as you simplify your tech, then you can start to layer up. Then you can start to say, okay, this is what I don't have at the moment, this is where there's a gap, and this is the tool that I need to add. Otherwise, you're just going to keep adding and adding and adding, and it's going to get really complicated. The second thing is automate. Automation is really where I start to get excited. There is a step before artificial intelligence, and that is automation intelligence. A lot of the time, what you need is not actually AI, you just need a little bit of automation, and that's going to help free up a lot of your time. So, who would like more sales in their business? If anyone, okay, a lot of people would like more sales. So more sales is something that people will say a lot, and so when you're thinking of more sales, a lot of the time you might think, in order to get more sales, I maybe need to spend more money on ads, or in order to get more sales, maybe I need to lower my prices, or maybe I need to post more on social media. There's one thing that will have a dramatic impact on your sales, which no one even thinks about. The biggest red flag that stops people buying is when someone is too slow to respond, or if it's a clunky sales experience. Have you ever done that before, where you're online and you're trying to buy something and then it's clunky and then something's going on here and then you have to type in this and you think, oh, I can't be bothered. Our attention span is so short that if there is friction in that buying process, we're just going to go with someone else. So, speed to lead is the #1 metric that you should be focusing on in order to increase your sales. And what that means is how fast you can get to the lead that's coming in. when I heard these stats, this is what really blew me away. This is what got me so excited about automation, because I thought, wow, I can get on top of speed to lead. I can be the fastest in my industry to get back to people, and that's going to be the differentiator. So 78% of customers buy from the company that responds to their inquiry first. Now think about an example where that's happened to you. I know that for me, we're getting a house quoted at the moment, and I've literally gone for the first quote. They may not be the best, but I was in a rush to get something done, and they were efficient, and them getting back to me straight away told me that that's an example of what working with them is like. There were other companies that were probably better than that company, but because they were slow to respond, subconsciously I said in my head, they're probably not on it. This is an example of what it's like to work with them. So this is a really key one. 391%. You will get a 391% increase in lead conversions if you can respond within 1 minute. Is anyone currently responding within 1 minute to every lead who comes back? Okay. Don't panic. I'm going to show you how you can do it. You'll get an 80% decrease in your odds of qualifying the lead after 5 minutes has elapsed. So that difference from 1 minute to 5 minutes is huge, 80% decrease. You may think that 1 to 5 minutes doesn't really matter, but it really, really does. And then you are 10 times less likely to have leads respond if your outreach takes more than 5 minutes. So I know that might sound a little bit like, oh, how do I even compete with that? I'm busy, I'm doing loads of stuff. You know, most businesses are doing loads of things at the same time. So the idea of being glued to your phone, ready to reply straight away, is unrealistic, right? So this is where I want to help you today. So you can have the best product in the world, but the quickest business to solve their customer's problem will always win. So if you can decide that you are going to be the quickest to respond, the most efficient, you are going to set that tone of what it's like to work with you, then you will win. It doesn't matter if you're the most expensive. It doesn't matter if someone else's product is slightly better than yours. You will always win that game if you are committed to responding as soon as possible. So the myth is that you need to be available 24/7. As I've said, you don't. With automation and AI, you don't need to be available 24/7. And everything that I do is about getting you out of your business, out of the day-to-day admin of your business, and getting you into the areas of the business that you enjoy. So I want to take you through my 3-step process: capture, nurture, and close, which enables you to do that with ease. So the first step is capture, engage leads instantly with conversational AI. Now, conversational AI, you're going to start to hear about this a lot. Has anyone been on a website before and there's a chatbot? Yeah. Has anyone wanted to shout at that chatbot because it is so rubbish? Yeah. Traditional, I say traditional, they're not even been around that long, but some chatbots, companies can think that they're being really smart by having a chatbot, but they are so frustrating and you're just not getting anywhere and going around in circles. Conversational AI is completely different. Conversational AI is really highly trained with sales psychology, but also really highly trained on everything about your business. It's literally like someone has joined your team and you've sat down and you've spent 4 weeks sitting with them, telling everything about you. They've listened to all your calls. They're sitting in and listening to all your training calls and things like that. And they are so highly skilled. A lot of the time, we've got some vets, actually, that their chatbot, their conversational AI chatbot that they have on their website is trained to the same level as one of their most skilled vets. We've given it so much training and so much knowledge that can actually triage loads of questions. It's really highly trained. So when I say about this, capture, it's all well and good if you're posting on social media and you're doing all of this stuff and you're getting attention, but if you're not then bringing them into your world, you are building your business on rented land. You don't own these social media channels. So you want to use the social media channels to grab that attention and then bring them into your world. And using things like conversational AI can do that. So that means, imagine if across Instagram or Facebook, you were actually sitting in the DMs having these conversations. You can now train the AI to do that for you. It can speak in your voice. It can have emotional intelligence. A lot of them are trained on NLP, so they're really good conversations, much better than you on a bad day when you're in a bit of a grump. These conversational AI bots are always really good. So, and you can have it on a chat bot as well. So capture is the first step. bot as well, a lot of what we do here is like actually an appointment booking bot. So I always think of it as like, you know, like the personal assistant. I think I might have a slide here actually that's going to show you. Oh yeah, let me tell you this. So my partner, he loves trainers. He's got like 70 pairs of trainers. They drive me nuts. They're all over the house. And he was telling me about these cool Dior limited edition trainers, blah, blah, blah. And anyway, I wasn't interested at all. However, I was interested in the fact that they've got a bit of a platform. And I'm 5'10", and he's 5'9", and I was like, this is going to give him an extra inch. This is exciting. So anyway, so I was quite keen to get this pair of trainers. But anyway, so we went into Dior. I never go into Dior. But I had a little bougie day, went into Dior, and this lady came out, and she was like, hi, how are you? Was asking us loads of questions, like really getting in there, getting to know us and asking us all this stuff. And anyway, told her too much stuff probably, because then she used that to sell us. She was like, oh, you must get this then, you must get this. Guided us around the shop. By the end of it, I bought these trainers, I bought a perfume, I bought all this stuff that I really didn't need, but she made me feel like I desperately needed it. And then once I'd paid and I went to leave, she said, oh, Carly, can I join you? Can I add you to the VIP list, to my VIP, personal list? And I was like, well, what does that mean? She was like, well, it's a WhatsApp. It's a personal line to me. You can just, anything that you need, you just get direct access to me, and I'll just be your personal shopper on my phone. I was like, yeah, VIP. This is so bougie. I'm all over this. And so anyway, I joined this WhatsApp. And then occasionally she always, she messages me, she remembers things about me, she remembers the conversations we had, she says, how's your wedding coming along, blah, 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 all these personal questions. And we have this relationship now. Now, whenever I want to buy something from Dior, which is not often, to be honest with you, but sometimes I'm like, oh, I need to get a present, my budget is this, have you got anything for me? She'll give me a really, really good service. Now, the key thing about this is that had she shown me an iPad at the checkout and said, oh, enter your email address and join our mailing list, I wouldn't have joined it. I wouldn't have read the emails that she sent me saying that there's this offer and this offer. But because I've got this one-to-one personal VIP experience with her, I'm buying all this stuff that I really don't need. But it's because I've got this relationship with her. That's exactly what conversational AI is like. It takes it beyond the normal marketing of just here's this offer and here's this thing over here. You start to build a relationship with these people, and it remembers that person's birthday and the fact that she's getting married and the fact that she liked that blue top that time. So you can have this real VIP experience with your clients. So, number 2 is nurture. Nurture is where we take these people at any time. Only 5% of your audience is ready to buy. They're the ones that are like actively looking. They're there with their card. They're like, where's the solution? I want it now. Only 5% of people are there. 35% of people are kind of in that middle ground where they know that they kind of want something. They're in that research phase. They're having a look. They're testing the water, but they're not yet ready to buy. The nurture phase is about moving people from this bit into that 5% place. It's about nurturing them, educating them, moving them through that process so that they are ready to buy, and that process feels natural for them. I'm going to go back here. So this could be through things like automated sequences. For example, when a client of mine, when they book a call and when they download one of my lead maggers or things like that, they get an automated voice note from me. And it says, oh, hey, it's Carly. I just saw that you downloaded my free guide. Just wanted to let you know, so excited for you to get your hands on it. I'm going to drop a little link to my calendar, or I'm going to do X, Y, Z. I'm really excited to chat to you. So you add that kind of extra thing. That's part of the nurture phase, which really helps move the client along. And then lastly is close. This is where you can close that sale really, really easily. So they're literally coming through your sales process right from the start to being onboarded. That is nice and automated. So the one thing that I do just want to cover quickly is that the fortune is in the follow-up. This is such a key bit that most people don't focus on enough. And that's because of this. Imagine if you had 500 leads coming through. 500 leads coming through. 10% of them, 50 people, decide that they want to jump on a sales call with you. They're interested in your thing. They want to learn more. Then 10 people from those sales calls decide that they want to buy. That's because you have 2 types of buyers. You've got hyperactive buyers. These are the people that they're in straight away. That little aisle, they're all over that. They're buying everything. They're buying the yo-yos and the bungee, whatever's. I'm that person. Is anyone a hyperactive buyer? Us three. Okay. Then you've got the considerate buyers. You've got the people that are like, oh, I just want to take my time. Just going to have a little think about it. So these are all considerate buyers. Good for you. You're my idols. I wish I was more like you. So every single time your leads are moving through this process, you've got 490 people that you're putting in the bin because most people are going straight back to the top and thinking, how can I get more people? How can I get more people? Whereas if you focused more time on these 490 leads and you built an automated reactivation system, which is going to be bringing them back and bringing them back and bringing them back always through your sales process, then that's how you're going to make sure that your leads aren't actually going in the bin. So you want to follow up like a ninja. I'm a ninja follow-upper. Once someone is in my world, they're not getting out of my world in the nicest possible way. So I've actually done a whole step-by-step process of this. It's too much to give you in the training today, but if you want to see how you could book 10 plus high-quality sales calls, when I say high quality as well, these people are pre-qualified. Once the time they get onto the call with you, they are so warmed up and ready to buy. They're the perfect people that you want as your clients or your customers. These aren't just people that are booking on your calendar for the sake of it. So I've done a whole training, literally shows you everything, how to build the AI bots, how to build the AI agents, absolutely everything. So it's easier to do it like that. So lastly, amplify with AI. This is the exciting bit for some, fearful bit for others. So if I was to say to you to take 30 steps, 30 normal steps, you'd probably get from there to there. You'd probably get less. You're very tall, but you would probably get from there to there. Now with AI is like each step you take doubles. So one step becomes 2 steps, 2 steps become 4, 4 steps becomes 8, 8 becomes 16. So now with that same effort that you would be taking, you can get so much further with that same amount of effort. So you can actually get 26 times around the earth with the same effort of those 30 steps than you would have done without AI. Something like that blows my mind sometimes when I really see how much of an impact it can make. So what does this mean for you? This means that your business can be powered by, it can feel like it's powered by 100 people, but you're actually a payroll of 1. The most exciting thing about today is that the playing field has been leveled. Whereas AI used to only be available for those massive corporations, the big companies, and they had access to all of the really cool stuff, we all have access to that now. You know, someone as a one-man band has access to the same tools that Apple does and that Amazon does. How cool is that? The fact that we, as a person or a business of 1 or a business of 2, can now do exactly the same things of those companies with that really small payroll is so crazy, and that's why it's such an exciting time. So AI hack number 1, build your AI team. This is one of the most incredible things you can do. You can literally build a team of like 10, 20 people, all of experts in their area, and it's just you with a ChatGPT account. So for example, you could go on ChatGPT. Has anyone played around with custom GPTs at all? So you can go on ChatGPT. At the top, it says My GPTs. Go to My GPTs, and you can actually start to train a chat thread on a specific topic. So you go into that chat thread, speak to that, write a little prompt, and tell it who it is. So you're going to say, you are a marketing consultant. You are an expert at marketing for real estate in Texas. Tell it who it is. Be very specific. Say, exactly what it is that you want to be for them to be an expert in marketing on. And then take documentation and files from other marketing systems consultants that you like, people that you see online, videos that you hear, podcasts that you hear that you think, oh, that's really good. Upload it to that chat thread in your custom GPT and start to train that as a marketing consultant. Now, every time you have a marketing question in your business, you're saying, I've got this product, I want to take it to market. What shall I do? How shall I get people to know about it? You ask your marketing consultant. Yeah, way. Then you've got the same with HR. I don't really want to sit down and talk to a HR expert, but I can train a custom HR expert. Oh no! Are you HR? I'm so sorry! I would be your worst I would literally be your worst nightmare client, though. I'm really sorry. I'm just absolutely sorry. But anyway, so for example, I'm going to use you as an example, right? So say you get the same questions all the time. You know, I imagine, have you got a team? Yes. How many people have you got in your team? And do you think they are all as good as you? No. Okay, so yeah, I may. So imagine if you could start to train a custom GPT to be as good as you. And it's all well and good saying, you know, this is what you do, this is what you do. But you could start to train it on all of your past cases. So you could start to say, in this scenario, I did this. You could have sales calls that not sales calls, you could have Zoom calls that you upload. You could have documentation that you upload. So you start to feed it with all of that, and suddenly, this custom GPT is really highly trained. So you could use that for yourself, but also with your team, instead of them coming to you, you could say, let's check our custom GPT, and those questions can go through there. So if you don't have a HR expert on your team, you could also just do this, start building your own HR expert. Same with tax advisor. I ask my tax advisor custom GPT stuff all the time. My unique little setup of my business, I will say, this is how it's set up, this is what I want to do. In this scenario, what would you do here? But what about if I want to do this? And then, you know, I ask it all of these questions, and it's fully trained on my business. It knows my business inside and out. Same as finance department. I asked it if I could afford this really fancy office the other day, and it told me no. And I was like, okay, not going to ask you anymore. Content creators. So Alicia is actually my social media manager. And normally, when you have a social media manager, it's hard at the beginning for them to find your flow. Has anyone had one before and you're like, gosh, it doesn't sound like me, it's not very good? But because I had my custom GPT, she was able to learn from me straight away. Do you know what I mean? So anything that she creates, she could also run it through there and say, does this sound like Carly? You know what I mean? And so you've got that kind of test there. Virtual assistant, this is one of my favorite ones. Does anyone get to the point, maybe in the middle of the week, maybe the end of the week, when you're so fried in your head and you're like, there is so much that I need to do, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing this, and you don't even know how to organize it? You could go to your virtual assistant, custom GPT, say, this is what I need to do. I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this. Here's my calendar. Can you organize this in a way of priority? This one's top priority, this one's last priority. Can you put a little schedule together for me to get this done? How helpful is that? And then lastly, fitness trainer. So, for example, you could create a custom GPT. You might have your favorite fitness trainer or personal person that you like. Put it in there and say, this is my goal, this is my schedule, this is what I like to eat, this is what I don't like to eat, this is when I can work out, these are the things that I really struggle with. Tell it all of that information and say, can you write a plan for me? And then it's going to come up with that plan. I've done this before. Oh, I need to tell you this really quickly. This was actually, I should be more impressed by like bigger stuff, but actually, I went into my kitchen cupboards and there was no food. And I'm not one of those people that knows how to cook from like just throwing stuff together. So I looked in the cupboard and I was like, what can I do? I had a fillet of sea bass and some tomatoes and some peppers. Huh? No, not in the cupboard, in the fridge. In the fridge. I'm not that bad in the kitchen. But this is what I had, really basic ingredients. So I went to my ChatGPT or my little nutritionist one. I said, this is what I've got. I've got sea bass, tomatoes, potatoes. What can I do? I've got an air fryer. And it gave me a whole recipe of a Mediterranean sea bass tray bake. And I was literally just there and did my little thing. And then my partner came home and I was like, ta-da. And he was very impressed, and he doesn't know that actually all came from ChatGPT. So anything where you need specialized advice in your business, start building your team of custom GPTs. If you're starting a new business, this is one that I really like. If you're starting a new business and you're just trying to get the idea out of your head, you've got so many things going on in your head and you're really thinking, is this the right thing, or how do I position it, things like this. This is a really good prompt for you. I'm considering starting a new business and I want help getting crystal clear on my idea. Please ask me a series of strategic, thought-provoking questions to help me clarify. So it's going to ask you all of these questions, but you can expand on each of these ones. So for example, if it says, what problem are you solving? If you don't know this, say, I'm not really sure. Can you give me some examples of problems that I could solve in this sector? You know, what would be the most profitable client in this area? What would be the widest client base in this area? So any of these questions that you don't know, go back and challenge the AI and say, can you help me with this? Let's brainstorm some stuff together. Imagine you're actually sat in the room with them. AI hack number 2, record absolutely everything. You can actually, if anyone's worried about the privacy aspect, you can go to the settings on ChatGPT, and you can sit on, it's like data sources, and you can turn it off so that it doesn't actually use your content to train the AI, so it actually will stop. So if you're worried about that, but record everything. So I use Fathom Note Taker. I record all of my calls, and now if anyone does join my team, I can give them all of those calls and all those transcriptions and help train them even better. Another thing you can even do is that if you have a recording of one of your new team members, you could take that recording, put it through your GPT, and say, based on how I would normally do my calls, how would you rate this and what feedback could you give to this team member? So cool, right? So you can start to help your team members get even better, even quicker. Feed the machine. If you put crap in, you're going to get crap out. I always think of this as like, if a team member came to join your business and they sat down with you on the first day and you were like, right, you gave them an exercise to do and you said, go and do this thing, and then they did it and they just didn't do it very well, you just wouldn't fire them. You wouldn't be like, okay, you're out. You would sit with them and you would train them and you'd help them be a little bit better. We need to do the same with the AI. The more time you can invest in the beginning to make this AI, this ChatGPT, this bot, this voice agent, whatever it is, to be really, really good and get to know you, it's going to pay you dividends. But you do need to treat it in the same way that you would a team member. And that is, we're coming to the end, but AI, a kind of a myth that I hear all the time is that AI is going to make my business feel robotic. And this isn't about making your business feel robotic. This is actually getting you out of the admin stuff, out of the kind of day-to-day stuff, and getting you more in the human aspects of your business. Imagine if the people that are brilliant at sales and brilliant at customer service and brilliant at being with your clients were spending all of their time with your clients, and they weren't in the office doing stupid manual stuff. This is really what AI is about. It's about getting people back into the skills that they are most skilled at and out of those boring aspects that really don't add a lot of value. So my last tip is just get curious. You know, if you don't know where to get started with ChatGPT and just really start asking it questions. Think of this as like your little sidekick. You're just always asking it questions, and if ever you wonder, I wonder if AI could do this, AI can do that. So ask it. See how you can explore. Go down a little rabbit hole and see where you get to, because it is a wonderful, wonderful world. I hope you found that helpful and not too scary, but thank you very much. If you've got any questions, I'm more than happy to. Yeah, you can do ChatGPT on your desktop. Do you sign into the browser on there? But you mean an app? There's not a desktop app at the moment, I don't believe. I just always use it on the browser. Is there? Oh, nice. Oh, amazing. Yeah, I just use it on the browser all the time. I've kind of got it linked with everything. But, yeah. And there's different things. Like ChatGPT is really great, I find, for like information gathering, research, things like that. Claude is brilliant for copywriting. Has a little bit more emotional intelligence, so I just find the way it writes a lot better. So yeah, play around with all the different ones. I was just saying earlier, I used one called bolt.new, and it created this full coded calendar. No, not calendar, it was a calculator. I said, I really want to show the difference, the ROI calculator of AI humans against AI robots. I wouldn't know how to calculate that. I asked that how to do it. It coded the whole thing and then made it all look pretty and put it on a landing page for me. So yeah, lots of cool stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, copyright would still say the same. So, like, if you were getting it to write a book based on another book, and it was quite clearly the same copy, then obviously those still things are going to say it's still going to say the same. A lot of things you just got to be careful with copywriting because, for example, books, Amazon is really clamping down on the sale of books that are created with AI. So now you can actually put it through tools that make it non-AI. It kind of creates with AI, then makes it non-AI, and then takes it out again. So yeah, everything still remains the same. But if any of your stuff you don't want to be copyrighted or stolen or used or things like that, again, I would just turn on that setting so that your stuff isn't used. Yeah, you want to be careful of that. Yeah. So yeah, if you're like anything like we were talking about recruitment earlier. So any CVs or things that you're uploading because you wanted to analyze the CV, obviously don't put names, addresses, things like that. Just put the data on there. So yeah, do you want to be conscious with documentation and what you're uploading, personal contacts? No. So yeah, so I've got that. Yeah, so I've got it closed, so it's only me that can access it. But then you can have other GPTs that are accessible to your team. If there's other things that you wanted to help your team with, you can make it accessible. But things like, for me, when I'm asking advice about my business and this is my goal, what do I need to do in order to hit that goal? You know, it knows my financials and stuff like that. Then that's all closed. I mean, there's dangers with everything. The thing is, there's not really a danger with the AI. The danger is within the hands it falls in. You know, so it's really like anything. You know, when internet banking came along and then people, the hackers were just bang on it and they were like, yeah. And then gradually security catches up and we catch those people. We're kind of in that same place at the minute where it's new. We don't really know how to stop the people because we don't know what they're doing. We will catch up to that. It's all about the people. So as long as, this is why I say with everything, like if you can grow your skills and become knowledgeable in AI, you will also know what to look out for. If you are oblivious to the whole thing, you are a prime suspect to get caught out. But don't think of it as like, you know, this big scary thing. How I see it is really just this, you know, opportunity to grab it and accelerate everything that you're doing. It can be a really exciting place to be in. Yay! Thank you.